Hello everyone, how are you? I hope that you are in a good condition. We are the student of ITP Markandeya Bali and will do presentation on the subject of the English verb pattern. Our Honorable Mr. Kadek Putra, SPD MPD, as our lecturer in our subject, English verb pattern, and all of you guys that we love and we are proud of. On this occasion, we will present our material on the English verb pattern, especially about auxiliary verbs and the passive voice. Before we proceed with our presentation, let us introduce our group members. The first one is Komang, Angga, Sila, Dharma, with the name is 2020 103 and 031. And the second one is Desak, Swandewi, with the name is 2020 103 and 055. And the third one is the Kadek Mudayasa, with the name is 2020 103 and 005. And the fourth one is Luh Intan Savira, with the name 2020 103 and 020. And the fifth one is Luh Wilantari, with the name 2020 103 and 007.
Okay, so today we are going to continue to go to the presentation material. So firstly, the presentation will open by my friends, that is Desak Swandewi.
Okay, I will start my group presentation. Our group material is auxiliary verb and passive voice. Let's start from the definition of auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb in English can be said to be words that complete the main verb in a sentence. In addition to completing the main verb, the auxiliary verb also serves to clarify the main verb. Therefore, the auxiliary verb can stand alone without the verb. These auxiliary words are used to show tense, aspect, modal, emphasis, and so on. In a clause or sentence, the auxiliary verb usually appears before the main verb. There are two kinds of auxiliary verb, namely primary auxiliary verb and modal auxiliary verb. The primary auxiliary verb includes be, do, and have, meanwhile the modal auxiliary verb consists of can, could, may, might, must, ought to, shall, should, will, and would. A. The types of primary auxiliary verb. There are three primary auxiliary verbs used in the English sentence. These are: the first is be or to be, and then second is do or do, does, did, and don't, and the third is have or have, has, and had.
Okay, thank you for today. Today I will do next presentation. Number 1, be. To be can include am, is, are, was, were, been, being, and to be, and is usually used to describe verbs, noun, and present participles. For its use, you also have to adjust to the tense use. For example, I'm, she is, you are, he was, we were. The example stand is A. I was thinking of you when I walked out the campus bridge. B. I am single, a song of birdies. C. We were looking for some and food yesterday. Okay, next it's do. Do does, did, and does. These words refer to passages the phrase are verbs. Part of it will verb. Not only to this auxiliary, also includes does, did, and done. Thus, you ask of this auxiliary word can also be adjusted to the condition and also the tense used. For example, do and does for present tense, did for past tense, and done for past perfect tense. For the example, I do need you to help me to finish the job. Next, she don't tell me about her job. Next, I did walk to birthday cake last week. Next, I am done making something at the moment. Next, I have which is used for the perfect tense. Not only have and has also can be used instead. According to and according to. I have is used for the present and future perfect tense. Will we hear as is used for the present perfect and had for the past perfect. For example, 1. We have arrived out of Sila in this morning. 2. We had visited at Bali. Come on to go. 3. She has traveled to Vietnam this morning. Number 4. I will have finished my assignment tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the time. Okay, now I will explain about the modal auxiliary verb. The modal auxiliary verb. Modal verb or modal auxiliary verb is an auxiliary verb that is useful for expressing a possibility, a necessity, and a suggestion, an ability, and so on. Modal verb is a type for verb that has that type of word. The following words are includes the modal auxiliary verb along with example tenses. 1. Can. The usage for can is to express ability. For example, you can tell everything to me. 2. Could. Could has the same constitution as can. It's just that could is a modal plus for or can also be used when speaking more formally. For example, when I was could, I could dancing better. 3. My is useful for expressing possibilities. For example, Angga might be angry because of your words. 5. Might. Just like mine, might serves to express the possibility. However, myth is used to express possibilities that are more certain and more formal. For example, my big brother need do his master degree in Tokyo next year. 5. Most as a function to express instantly. Most can also be referred with have to or has to. Example extensive. Father must but difference for my little sister. 6. Again to is used instance that requires smoothing such as the following stance. Die again to come by motorcycle to avoid jam. 7. Shall also express obligation, but is generally used in formal situations. For example, we should look for now accounting staff. Short is used for past tenses. The position for short is to give a vision for situation. See this example. You should refer your vision. Will is a modal form used to express as will or infinition. Example for usage. She will join the club if her private hours hurt. Words. The word function is the same as will. The difference is word is used for past tenses or for more formal tenses. For example, like the following tenses. If you had said to me, I would tell the truth to her. Ruler for using modal for when you want to sort modal form. Remember the following ruler. The modal form is always research. Your can add s in whenever the subject and text is. Modal are always forward by verb 1. Modal cannot be used in perfect tenses as fight, will, would, shall, and so on. Modal cannot mean order, query, verb, express, be, and have. In tense, it is forbidden to use more than one modal. Modal cannot be phrased or forwarded by infinitive. Well, that are the capital material that I can explain. The next material will be explained by Angga. For the time we invite.
Okay, thank you for the time that has given to me. So now I would like to explain about the passive voice. Did you ever heard about the passive voice? Okay, so right now I'm going to explain about the passive voice. So the definition of passive voice, according to the Writing Center, passive voice is a passive construction that occurs when you make the object of an action into the subject of the sentence. That is, however or whatever is performing the action is not the grammatical subject of the sentence. So, the passive voice produces a sentence in which the subject receives an action. In contrast, an active voice produces a sentence in which the subject performs an action. Passive voice after creates unclear, less direct, worldly sentences, whereas active voice creates clear, more concise sentences. So let's go to the formula of passive voice. In passive voice, you really know about the tenses. So about the simple, about the continuous, about the perfect, and also perfect continuous. In passive voice, includes has to be, and also verb 3, and also by. For example, in the simple one, this is like an active is always using verb 1, but for the past is used for verb 2. So in the simple, when you to be a passive, you have to input to be and plus verb 3. In the continuous, is to be plus verb in. If want to be passive one, is to be plus being and verb 3. For the perfect one, 3h plus verb 3. 3h in here meaning have and has, but in the past is have. And the perfect continuous is using 3h plus been plus verb in, but in the passive one is 3h plus been plus being and plus verb 3. So that you have to know the simple one. To be in here is meaning like is, am, are for the simple one, but for the past is using was or were. But different for the future. Future and past future is not using to be. It's include be. For example, future is always used will. Past future is used will. But when it's to be passive, in here has to input the to be. But for the future and past future, not used to be. Just be. Let's go to the formula for every each single tenses. For example, in here is active and in here is passive. This is just the simple of formula. We have to know about the S, C, P, and PC. In here meaning is a simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So for present, the subject plus verb 1. If to be unpassive, in here is subject plus to be and plus verb 3. For continuous is subject plus to be plus verb in. And then for the passive one is subject plus to be plus being and plus verb 3. So for the perfect one is subject plus 3h is meaning have or has in the past, use had. For the passive one, using subject plus 3h plus been and plus verb 3. And for perfect continuous, is subject plus 3h plus been plus verb in. So for the passive is use subject plus 3h plus been plus being and plus verb 3. And also have to remember put by. Later we will explain the example of each tenses. This is for the past is the subject plus verb 2, in the continuous subject plus to be and plus verb in, or perfect subject plus 3h plus verb 3, and the perfect continuous is subject plus 3h and been and plus verb in. It's same as to be a passive. Subject plus to be plus verb 3. Subject plus to be plus being plus verb 3 is subject plus 3h plus been plus verb 3. Subject plus 3h plus been plus being and plus verb 3. It is just only put how you put the to be, being, been, and they. So the next one is future and past future. That we like said before, I have to explain to you, is not using to be, just be. So for active one in the future, for the formula is the subject plus will plus verb 1. It is include subject plus will plus be and plus verb 3. It's not used to be, just be. So for continuous, subject plus will plus to be plus verb in. And for the passive one, subject plus will plus be plus being plus verb 3. And the perfect one is subject plus will plus 3h and plus verb 3. For the passive one, plus subject plus will plus 3h plus been and verb 3. Perfect continuous is subject plus will plus 3h and plus been plus verb in. The subject plus will plus 3h plus been plus being plus verb 3. In here, why being is to be 2 in here? That is meaning continuous. The past future also seem like the future, but only the different by if the future use will, but in the past future is use would. So let's go to the example that we are going today for the passive voice. Example for present tenses. In the active one, is the present is the subject plus verb 1. But we have to know in here is S, C, P, and PC is meaning simple, continuous, perfect continuous. So for the present tense, in here is the subject plus verb 1, and to be passive is subject plus to be plus verb 3. You have to remember to be in here is meaning is, am, are, but in past is used was or were. But you have to remember too the 3h in here meaning have or has, but for past is use had. So in here the formula and also the for example for the sentences. Here is subject plus verb 1. In here, student speak English. If you want to be passive, here is English is spoken by students. English is spoken by students. So in here meaning the English is being a subject, but the student is being an object. But that's the way how to be passive. But in formula in English, special for present tense, you have to put to be and also by. So the sentence will be English is spoken by students. If the continuous one, students are speaking English. So the subject plus to be plus verb in. And here is students are speaking English. If you want to do the passive one, same as before, you should include being and by. So the sentence will be English is being spoken by students. So here the verb 3 speak is spoken, yeah, and also is to be. The to be is, but you, if wanted to be continuous, you should put being. That is meaning continuous. So for perfect ones, students have spoken in English. So it's to be passive one. English has been spoken by student. Being in here is same as like a to be, but you have to put by. But in the perfect is also use the verb 3, but to be passive also remember to use the verb 3 and include by. And also for perfect continuous is students have been speaking English. So in here to be passive is English has been being spoken by students. So you have to remember if the passive one is used for 3 and also to be and used by. So the next one for the past. For example, in here an active past is used verb 2. For the simple one, if the continuous is same, verb in. For the perfect, verb 3, perfect continuous, verb in, include being. So let's go to the example. Student wrote a note. This is words is verb 2. If going to the passive, a note, same as before, the subject being the object and the object being the subject. So a note was written by students. Yeah, you have to remember to put was and by. A note was written by students. So the verb 3 of wrote is written. Wrote is verb 2 and write is verb 1. For the continuous one, students were writing a note. You have to remember this is past. The to be is using were or was. So for example, is students were writing a note. Because this is continuous, this is a note was being. This is meaning continuous, written by students. And the perfect one is student had written a note. In here, a note had been written by students. For the perfect continuous is students had been writing a note. And for the passive one, a note had been being written by student. So I'm sorry, in here the right one is should be being, not been. So for continuous is always using being for the passive. Okay, that's all about the example for past and also the future one, and also the definition of the passive voice. So the example for the future and also past future will explained by my friends. So for my friends, the time is yours.
Third example, active. Student will present English vocabulary. Student will be presenting English vocabulary. Student will have presenting English vocabulary. Student will have been presenting English vocabulary. Passive. English vocabulary will be presented by English student. English vocabulary will be being presented by students. English vocabulary will have been presented by students. English vocabulary will have been English presented by students. And the last example, active. The tiger would eat the goat. The tiger would be eating the goat. The tiger would have eaten the goat. The tiger would have been eating the goat. Passive. The goat would be eaten by the tiger. The goat would be being eaten by the tiger. The goat would have been eaten by the tiger. The goat would have been being eaten by the tiger.
Okay, that's all about our presentation. If we have a do mistake, please give me the apologize. And thank you so much for your attention. See you.